Good morning, everyone. It's Jim here, just with another kind of general update. This is Sunday morning, and I had a few things to cover. Yesterday, the first thing I wanted to talk about is yesterday, Saturday, I had my half marathon. It's my second half marathon that I've done since I've been lost weight and become fit, and it's a pretty good result. Pretty good. I ran pretty much as I expected I would, and which is a good thing because I was expecting improvement. Back in November, I ran a half marathon in 2 hours 20 minutes, and yesterday I was just a hair under 2 hours and 8 minutes. So I improved over 12 minutes for the half marathon, which is equates to on my mile pace. I was back in November. I was about 10.5 minutes per mile, and yesterday I was about 9.5, a little better than 9.5, and that's a pretty good improvement, and I'm happy with that. It was a much better race for me than I ran back in November. I ran smarter. I ran more true to my pace. I knew where I needed to be, and of course, it's always kind of taxing towards the latter stages of it. It does kind of grind on you after a while, but I got through it, and I was happy. I was stiff and sore after the race, after I sat down and drank some water and got up to go to the car, and it was, you feel it. You feel it. It's an effort. But the thing I want to mention is that, once again, stiffness and soreness from any kind of strenuous activity, with my carnivore diet, it just doesn't last. It goes away. My habit is to Sunday morning do a long run, and my long run means I go out and I run typically 8 or 10 miles. And this isn't at any kind of strenuous pace, just a easy or moderate pace. Now, you would think yesterday I ran a half marathon and I pushed it and was sore afterwards for a time. You would think maybe Sunday, the next day, I might skip my long run and take a day off, but no, I didn't. I felt fine this morning. I didn't feel stiff. I felt okay. So I said, I'm going to do my long run like I always do. And I did it. And, my legs weren't full of energy or full of life, especially in the beginning of the long run this morning. And I didn't expect them to be after yesterday. But, I did 8 miles. And I tell you, like the last 2 or 3 miles, I got into a nice groove, and I was running a moderate pace, and I felt great. No really lingering effects at all from yesterday's run. And I just got to say I just want to note that because it's kind of remarkable. I used to always, as you get older, you tend to, in the past, if I got sore, I was sore for days, several days, and it took a while, to heal up. Now, I heal up, and soreness goes away. So I did my long run today. I feel great. No soreness. And the reason I did that, and I want to harken back to my video from last week about mastering a new lifestyle and practicing and developing new habits. I like to keep doing the same thing over and over. If Sunday is my long run day, I like to do a long run come hell or high water, unless there's some reason really, if it's pouring rain or whatever, or if I'm traveling, it's not convenient, then I might not do it and just compensate. But if I can do it, if I'm here and I'm fine, there's no reason not to do it. I got to do it. So anyway, it's part of that mastering a new lifestyle. maintaining habits. I think going forward, I gave some thought to maybe going further with the endurance racing, like half marathon, maybe this fall go to a marathon, and 26-mile race. But I'm pretty much vetoed that idea. I think 13 miles is as far as I'm prepared to go at this point as far as endurance racing. It is just too much. It would require too much of a commitment and too much of a strenuous type of workout to push the distance out further, and I don't really see the need. I do think I will continue to target some races just to focus my training a little bit. As of right now, I'm probably thinking the next race might be a 10K, which is about six miles. Maybe I'll skip a month, maybe look at something maybe in September to do a 10K. And maybe with the half marathon, I think once a year is enough for that. So that's probably my last half marathon of the year. I want to do enough running to maintain fitness, and there's benefits from running, how it makes me feel and what it does to my body, but I guess I don't want to go overboard with it. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I'm not going to be a guy that's, winning medals or beating a lot of people. In fact, yesterday, though, in my age group, I came in 6th out of 11. So I had 5 people in front of me and 5 people behind me. So I'm right in the middle of the pack, really. So I feel fine with that. So I just wanted to mention that I was considering maybe getting into the real endurance stuff, full marathons or maybe even more, but I've decided it's not for me. Oh yeah, there's the other big news this week. I got an email from YouTube congratulating me on hitting 1,000 subscribers, and I guess I kind of knew I was creeping up on that total, but I've now passed it and I am above 1,000. I don't know what that means or whatever. It is a milestone, I guess. And when I think back when I started this channel, it just blows me away to have that degree of support. I started this in December, and I did so, not really with any experience telling my story in public, or certainly this is my first foray into YouTube. But I wanted to get my story out there. I believe, and I still believe, there are unique aspects to what I did, how I approached the weight loss, how I was able to lose the weight. And I believe my story is fairly unique. And one, especially, and I've said it before, given my age when I started this and the degree of success I've had, I just feel that I wanted to get it out there for possible other people who were in my situation, who had totally given up at ever being a reasonable weight. I just wanted to get the message out there, what I did, and that there is hope, and don't give up. I thought I would tell the story, and I did. I broke it down into like the first 5 or 6 videos were my weight loss journey in detail. I never knew, like, beyond that, if I'd have anything else to say, or that would be the end of the story. Here it is, and this is what I did, and boom, leave it at that. I didn't know where it would go. It has taken on a different life now. I just kind of give these kinds of updates about what I'm doing and what dietary changes I've done, and with running, and what experiments I'm working on, answering questions, and so on and so forth. And that part of it I find rewarding, and I really didn't know to expect that starting off, but it's been successful. I've had some nice comments from people saying that I inspired them, and that is very rewarding also. I've had people say they like my style. I'm very relaxed. I have a calm manner, and I guess that's who I am. I'm not a big flashy guy like some of the other channels. I'm not trying to be anything big or revolutionary on YouTube. It is what it is. Just a regular person telling what I'm into. One thing along the way, after I put my story out there, and I started picking up subscribers and people following me, I sort of took on this feeling that, I sort of have an obligation to keep reporting, because what I don't want to happen is to just step away and not give any updates and leave people wondering, well, what happened to that guy? I wonder what happened to that guy, because if it's like me, there's a lot of flash in the pan type stories you see, and then you wonder, well, here's a story and there were these updates and then it just stopped. Well, did they fall off the wagon? Did they relapse? Did they gain weight again? Whatever. I feel, so part of my motivation for keep making updates, I told my story, but now I want to keep reminding people that this is sustainable. The low carb, keto, 1 meal a day, carnivore lifestyle, despite what you hear in the media and the misrepresentations and some of the doom and gloom you hear, you can do it. You can do it every single day. It's not boring. It's quite satisfying. And you don't get tired of it. That's what you always hear it. Well, yeah, you can lose some weight, but it's not sustainable. Really? That's news to me, because it seems quite sustainable. It's not boring at all. In fact, I feel better than ever. So I'm not changing. I don't plan to change. And so that's kind of why I keep coming out here from time to time, just to say, hey, I'm here. I'm still doing these same things. Maybe I change up something here or there, but no, I didn't relapse. No, I'm not, cheating with having a pizza and a bag of chips and some Cokes on the weekend. I have no desire to go back to that. It's completely sustainable. So I'm trying to reinforce that message. I think it's important because people get you get hung up, you get bogged down in the standard American food system, the standard American diet. It surrounds you, it becomes you, and you just develop all these bad habits, and you don't really know how to get out of it, how to save yourself. And so you're looking for, different voices. You need different voices, but it's hard to find. So I hopefully want to be one of those voices. There's other voices. In fact, I want to plug another YouTube channel here. And it's Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto. Sarah has got a lot of time. Keto Under 20. She's got a popular channel, and a lot of people follow her. And I'll link to her if you've never heard of it. Check her out. She demonstrates this, what I've just said here too, and I've heard her talk about it before. She feels like she feels some sort of a obligation to keep showing up and saying, hey, I'm here, I'm doing the same thing today, I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow, and each day. She posts a lot of videos, like I think something like 5 per week, which is amazing in and of itself. And I'll just say, and I mean this in a positive way, a lot of her videos, they're repetitive, but that's good. She does the same thing Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And that's like, again, that's a mastery. That's a practice instilling a new lifestyle. People need that kind of structure. My approach isn't so structured like hers, but I'm sort of an outlier type. I don't think everybody can be kind of as freewheeling as I am and go by instinct. But her approach is, it's more exact. These numbers and macros and planning, weighing. It's people. Many people need that structure in order to dig themselves out of the hole they're in. So, Sarah, I like your approach, and it's kind of affirming every day. When I'm get up in the morning and preparing for work, and you've got a video out there, I can almost predict kind of the content of it, but that's a good thing. It's a reaffirmation. It's just every day you're there doing the same thing over and over. I like that. So anyway, that's part of the theme that I had last week and this week of mastering your new lifestyle. I think you need that repetitiveness, and to know that there are people out here, many people, we're fine with this. We're not struggling. We're doing the same thing every day, day in, day out, and it works. So check out Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20, Sarah's channel. So I hit 1,000 subscribers. The big thing I want to say to my subscribers is thank you. I never once imagined that I would have the kind of response that I've got from this. So thank you all who watch and subscribe and like and give me comments and questions and support. I try to be supportive back and try to instill a community atmosphere, and I think it's working. But thanks a lot to everyone. I think the other thing I'll just mention here, with the theme of being repetitive, where I'm at, what I'm eating. I'm in a real groove in terms of my daily meal. I'm not changing it a whole lot. I'm just sticking with. I got a formula. It works for me, and I'm doing it pretty much day in, day out. So I just thought I'd go over it real quick, because I posted a meal maybe about a month ago or so, and I think a lot of people thought that was a standard meal. It was a little larger than normal. I don't normally eat quite that much, but right now here's my meal. Here's my structure. Here's what I eat every single day. It's one meal a day. Outside of my meal, I just have coffee. I'll have usually 2 coffees, occasionally 3, and I have heavy whipping cream in my coffee. My meal is basically, I target 2 pounds of meat minimum. I know if it's less than 2, I'm not going to be quite satisfied. So 2 plus, it could be 2, 2.5. That's my target range. The meat is mostly beef, but I do throw in some pork here and there. Just the pork, I like the flavor of pork, so I'll throw in some loin or some bacon, or I'm liking lately loin chops, bone-in loin chops. Those are nice fried up. So that's my meat. I put salt and pepper and sometimes some butter on my steaks, but salt and pepper. I put salt and pepper on, frankly, everything that I eat. Salt for sure. And my salt is Himalayan pink salt. I am going to add some variety of different salts. I like the salt, what salt brings. in terms of taste and minerals. So that's my meat. And right now I have, in addition to meat, I have 3 other items. My beverage is always mineral water, a couple bottles of mineral water. In the 3 other items I have, right now I have 1 avocado, of course salt and pepper on it. I have some chicharrones, pork skins, and I try to keep that just to like a handful, maybe 2 handfuls. And those, if I'm feeling good, I'll put a little Kerrygold butter on them even. Or if I'm cooking meat in the slow cooker, there's often some great juice in there. The chicharrones dipped in that juice is fantastic. And finally, I have dessert, and I know my friend Mike at Keto Mad gets insanely jealous when I say this. I have 2 squares of dark 92% chocolate. I'm in a habit. I do that every day now. I enjoy it. It gives me a whopping 7 carbs and a couple grams of sugar. But I enjoy it. It's satisfying, and it caps off the meal. And so I'm going to keep doing it. I'm trying to find a diet. I found a diet that works for me. I know a lot of the carnivore tribe people are just adamant about only meat, and you don't make your meal about entertainment, or don't make it too complex. You don't need variety. I agree with that to a large extent. However, I like a little variety. And I consider what I'm eating, what I just described to you, which is every single meal, I think that's pretty simple, pretty basic, and not a lot of variety, but it's totally satisfying to me. And the fact that it's simple is important to me too. Like this, my meat preparation is just real simple. Sous vide, or throw it in a crock pot, or fry it. I'm not making complicated recipes. This is just real basic. So meat plus an avocado, there's no preparation there. Chicharrones and 2 squares of chocolate. So I've got variety, simplicity, a little variety. And I need that little variety. I like it. I don't know if I need it really, but I enjoy it. So I think that's important. I eliminated back, it's almost a couple months ago now, or 6 weeks for sure, when I did the week of beef only, or the hamburger only. Kind of got full elimination that week down to hamburger only. And I haven't added back everything. I used to do eggs and cheese routinely, and I've not added back either of those. I probably will not add the cheese at this point. Eggs I will add back, but it's going to take the place of an avocado. I like having my meat plus 3 other items, so I might swap a couple eggs for the avocado. I'm not going to add, I've kind of capped the complexity of my meal at that point, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to have the 4 items. Always the meat, focus on the meat. It'll be an egg or an avocado, a few chicharrones. Those are that satisfies my craving for a salty, crunchy snack. It's just fried pork and salt, but it satisfies something for me. And the chocolate I find satisfying too, just a bit of chocolate. And when I added that chocolate, I thought, oh boy, this could be something, that's going to lead me down a slippery slope. And next thing I'm maybe wanting to eat the whole bar. That has not happened. I have no desire. I find those 2 squares of chocolate, I just put them in my mouth and let them melt. It takes like 5-10 minutes. You do it twice, it's like 15-20 minutes. it feels like I've had this great dessert, and it tastes insanely sweet and good for a minimal amount of, like I said, 7 carbs. So I like it, and that's my current diet. It's working for me. I've added back a couple of things, but no ill effects. I have no issues with any of this. Everything's working for me. I feel in tip-top shape, physically, mentally. So that's what I'm rolling with right now. As Sarah Pearls of Wisdom would say, that's how we roll. That's how I'm rolling. And I'm sure I'll experiment down the road, and when I do, I'll let you know. But I do the same thing every day. I eat this. I do mix up different cuts of beef, some skirt steak, some ribeye. I got some ribs. I got some different thing. I mix it up a little bit, but that's about the extent of my variety right there. That's working for me. So I think I'm going to cap this today's update off right there. I think I maybe was going to keep this real short, but typical fashion, I've droned on and on about a few things. So yeah, that's it. I think hopefully I'll have another update in a week or two. I'm doing some traveling. I'm going to be going out to Idaho for a week, and then some business travel. So I don't know when the next update will be, but probably be a couple weeks. Again, thank you everyone for supporting my channel. It's very much appreciated. And as always, let me know if there's any questions. I'd be happy to expand on anything that I mentioned here today. Have a good one, and hope your journeys, your individual journeys, are all going well and are successful. Take care, everyone. See you next time.